Hello boys, Busy Boy here. Today we're gonna go over all the tech and min-max in Workshop. The rules are, if you learn something, anything at all, you gotta like and subscribe. And if not, then you can dislike, I guess. Alright, without further ado, let's leap right into it. After the first pull, the boss is gonna spawn after some roleplay of about 24 seconds. Do you know what else is 24 seconds? Our Colossal Might buff. So if you end the first pull with a last second Mortal Strike, you will have exactly enough time to take those stacks onto the boss if you instantly hit it with a Mortal Strike. So you can start the boss with 10 stacks. If you're in a pug, you might have to press parry because you might get meleeed. Right there I'm in a plus 12, so I know the hit is not going to one-shot me. He doesn't one-shot even on like plus 17, I think. Then, at the end of the fight, we're again going to try and keep our Colossal Might stacks. We're downstairs all the way. But of course, this is going to be a little bit trickier because there's RP, there's the slide. So a couple things you got to know here. Try to make sure sweeping ends exactly when the boss dies, as shown here on the clip. To stack collateral damage, I would recommend to not press execute if possible, which is fine if you don't press executioner's precision, because then execute's kind of shit, right? The reason for this is because you're going to need some rage downstairs to extend your Colossal Might stacks. The collateral damage buff is 30 seconds, so it's going to be tight, but you can keep it for the next pack. Colossal Might is 24 seconds, which is not going to be enough. So, what we're going to do is we're going to open the Pokedex macro. This is a macro where I collect all the names of all the critters of all keys, and while you're on the slide, you can press the Pokedex macro if the /target clanking scraps is in there. This macro also has some general uses, because a lot of items this season require you to be in combat, stay in combat. Like Eye of Kazan, Chest of Diamond, House of Cards, Weapon Ascension. Targeting and taunting critters can help out with that a lot. But in this case, we're going to use it to keep our stacks. So while we're on the slide, I'm going to spam this macro until I target one. I'm going to mark it with Skull, because the spawn location is random, so I can clearly see it. And then I hit him with a Mortal Strike, and I extend my stacks. And this is why you need to have some extra rage from the boss to be able to get this Mortal Strike off, because it can be very risky to right-click these critters to try and get some rage. Let me show you why. Oh my god, I started that battle.
What?
I clicked the thing by accident. How do I lose this? Oh my fucking god, what the fuck is that?
Bro, it's playing Pokemon mid-key.
Like playing pad battles mid plus 18 is generally a time loss, so you kind of want to avoid doing that. And then this fucking boss got nerfed. You can no longer hit while you're hiding. You can still auto attack though, which is not a big deal, but you can, you know, thunderclap, cleave behind the box, waste some rage, anger management value, tactician proc. One thing you can do though, if you have balls bigger than mine, because I don't have the balls for this, is you can hit the boss in between ticks of the fire area, which I show here because it was a wipe anyway.
Just reflect his venting flames and one-shot him.
I'm hitting behind the box. You see that shit, dude?
Okay, that was sick. That was kind of sick.
Oh, nee.
Then when the boss dies, you can leap up here to skip the conveyor belts, and then you can start pulling the alarm bot before your group is there. He doesn't melee. You can even sweep and get one yellow to start pre-stacking. You should not die. Or be like my tank and just pull the whole room. And then when the pack is dead, it's time to pull up our Pokedex again, because here we have the Aloyd Alley Rat.
Who's that Pokemon? It's
Aloyd Alley Rat. Oh yeah, anyway. Two of them might spawn in this room. Sometimes they're outside of the room, then you cannot do it. But usually they are. So that you can keep up your stacks all the way for this whole encounter. For all 3 waves. Then when you finish this, you can charge one yellow that's running inside to keep up your stacks again. He doesn't melee very hard, you can tank it very easily. And that way you can keep your combat buffs, your Ascension, whatever, Eye of Kazan, as well as your Colossal Might ready for the next pack. And then one more thing you can do is you can DPS it down to 35% health. Because if you warbreak your target below 35% health, you get an extra 10% haste. Choose the talent in for the kill. 20% haste, almost like PI. You know, no one gives us PI, so we just make our own PI. So you can drag him for a little bit, and then you can jump over the bots. But you have to be careful though, because like, kind of how it works is at the start of your leap, you're not really considered airborne yet, so you need some distance. So like jump and then leap. And don't jump over like 3 bots, jump over like 1 or 2 bots max to keep it safe. And then you drag your guy into the pack below 35% health, with all your stacks up and an extra 10% haste. And why this matters is because this pack, they cast a shield, right? 75% damage reduction on the pack. So you can get your Demolish off before. If you have to build your stacks while inside the pack, it's usually going to line up exactly when they cast a shield, and you might Demolish into the shield, which would be complete disaster. But this is how you can solve that. And then finally, last boss, Taunt Reflect. There's more reflects in this key, like Arcing Zap on the big robots or the plant on third boss. But that's nothing that Reflect Beaker won't tell you, so I won't go over that. But the last boss has Pulse Blast as his auto attack, and this is reflectable. He does not melee you, so it's completely safe. Just make sure when you're going to taunt that he's not going to follow up with Takeoff or the Mega Zap. Just make sure he's not about to cast that, and you can taunt at any time and you will reflect it very easily. You can also hit the boss while you're being targeted by the beam, by the way. Alright boys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Come check out my stream, twitch.tv/Byzantine. Also don't forget to flame my UI in the comments, as usual. And if this video is well received, I'll make more videos like this for the other dungeons. Hope to see you guys on Twitch. Peace, boys.